Field for tonight's first race is coming out onto the track as A Parade behind. Kathy McDonald. Number 1, Nuclear Day, owned by Jim Sparks. Del S. Miller drives. 2 is Bird's Sundancer, owned by Steve Hodge and Darren Mauser. 3, Lakewater Bird, driven by Eldon Spearman. 4, Ike's Last, owned by Marvin Conkright. Sandy Beatty will be aboard. Number 5, Stretch and Fletch, owned by Beverly Conniff. In the bike tonight, Jeff Fout. 6, Jaguar Design, owned and driven by Danny Collins. 7 is Wakeshire Wish, owned by Roger Wheeler and Dave Hawk. 8, Wildcat Will, owned by Jane Ferrion. Bob Harper. 9, Doris Scooter, owned by Burkholder Enterprises Incorporated with David Miller. 10, Noble Mountaineer, owned by Neil and Alvin Long and David Ogan Jr. Brad Hanners will be in the sulky. Field for the first. Post time in 7 minutes at 7:38. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Jaguar Design, the 6 is off stride, far outside. Wildcat Will takes the lead. Here comes Stretch and Fletch in the second. Bird Sundancer swings up on the outside, third. Nuclear Day gets away, fourth. They're moving midway on the turn. Here comes Doris Scooter up on the far outside with Wakeshire Wish. As they make their way to the first turn, Noble Mountaineer out of the second tier, Lakewater Bird. Ike's Last driving up on the outside, Jaguar Design. They open up here in a solid 28-3. Moving past the stands to the half-mile pole. Out on top by about 4 lengths, Wildcat Will. Stretch and Fletch is in the second. Long Mile on the outside, Doris Scooter to third. Bird Sundancer fourth, Nuclear Day fifth. Ranging up on the outside, Wakeshire Wish underway, Jaguar Design overcoming that early break, fighting his way back into contention around the clubhouse turn. After that comes Noble Mountaineer, Lakewater Bird along the rail, Ike's Last 10th on the outside. They're at the half in a solid 57-4. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Moving away on top, it's Wildcat Will for Bobby Harper. Stretch and Fletch, the Golden Journey in second. Between horses, Bird Sundancer third, Nuclear Day on the far outside fourth, as they've got about a quarter of a mile to pace. Wildcat Will bouncing right along. Bird Sundancer is up on the outside. Here comes Stretch and Fletch. He'll be a serious factor in the last eighth of a mile by 3/4 in 1:28-3. Moving around the far turn, Wildcat Will, Stretch and Fletch, Lakewater Bird gaining, dropping back Bird Sundancer there at the head of the stretch. Wildcat Will brings him home. Stretch and Fletch looks for the passing lane. Here's Bird Sundancer, Noble Mountaineer on the outside. Stretch and Fletch now gets the lead. It's Stretch and Fletch going to be tight for second. Here comes the field for tonight's second race as they parade to the post. Number 1, Fine Crystal, owned by Steve McCoy, Robert Worth, Tom Ridgely. Sandy Beatty drives 2, Mighty Cyrus, owned by Ronald Brumbaugh, Jeff Fout. 3, Send the Message, owned by Marjorie Hahn, Francis Beard, Robin and Patricia Roll with Dan Ader. Here's the 4, Hand Over the Loot, owned by Mike Wise. Mike Wilder will be aboard. Number 5, Double Luck, owned by Robert Marshall. Sean Barker will drive. 6, Things Change, owned by Kate Smith with Bob Harper. Number 7 is Spry Miss, owned by Elliman Bread with Mitchell Nutt. 8 is Shiv, owned by Tom Blankenship, Ralph Sturr Jr. with Brad Hanners. 9, Yankees Speedin', owned by the Broken Brokers Limited with Russ Baldwin. 10, Velvet's Message, owned by Dick Neff. David Ehrenberg II. David Ehrenberg will be in the sulky. Field for the second race, post time in 5 minutes. Field is now in motion, and there they go. They're off and trotting. Things Change is off stride at the start on the far outside. Shiv takes the lead. Another breaker further back in the field is the 10, Velvet's Message. And we're back on the front end as they trot to the quarter-mile pole, and Double Luck coming quick gets the lead. Shiv on the outside, second. Mighty Cyrus moves in to be third. Hand Over the Loot, parked and driving on the outside, fourth. After that, Send the Message in fifth. Ranging up on the outside, Spry Miss. After that comes Fine Crystal as they trot by the opening quarter-mile pole in 28-4. After that, Yankee speeding, back down trotting, Things Change, far back the 10. Velvet's Message under the finish line the first time. Hand over the loot, trotting a storm on the outside, up the challenge, Double Luck. Double Luck goes on 3 parts of a length. Hand over the loot is up on the outside, second along the rail, Shiv is into third. Here comes Mighty Cyrus tipping and rolling, gap of 4. Send the Message, gapping fifth up on the outside. Yankee speeding, Fine Crystal along the rail. A little bit rough on the outside, Spry Miss, the trailers remain. Things Change and Velvet's Message. They're at the half and a good 59-3. They're down the backstretch. Taking over command, Hand Over the Loot. Hand Over the Loot on top by 3 parts of a length. Mighty Cyrus trots up on the outside second. Double Luck gives way along the rail. Here comes Spry Miss on the extreme outside with Shiv gaining steadily between horses. 130-1. Trotting around the far turn. Mighty Cyrus on the outside. Hand Over the Loot along the rail. Here comes Spry Miss up on the outside. Shiv is in the center. Fine Crystal's got some work to do there into the stretch. Hand Over the Loot is back on top by a widening length and a half. Mighty Cyrus giving way. Here's Fine Crystal up on the far outside with Spry Miss. But it's Hand Over the Loot in front. Here comes the unofficial winner of tonight's second race, number 4, Hand Over the Loot. 3-year-old brown filly by Armbro Solar out of Paris Cash, owned in Lebanon by Mike Wise. Given a hard drive tonight by Mike Wilder, covering that mile here in 2:01 for trainer Mark Graber, and a lifetime best for Hand Over the Loot, the unofficial winner of tonight's second race. $17. 52-40. 50. Here comes the field for tonight's third race as they parade to the post. This is series event number 14, third leg. $3,500 purse, sponsored by Steeplechase Village Luxury Family Rentals. Number 1, Cool Ambition, owned by Robert McCurdy and Craig Parker. Dave Hawk drives. 2, Life Work, going with a touch of Life Stable and Aeroline Limited with Ryan Holton. 3, Cod Fayel, owned by James Borchers with Bill Walters. 4, Gambler's Lair, owned by Chris Fout. Jeff Fout will bring this guy out of post 4. 5, CL Scooter, owned by National Trail with Dan Ader. 6, Set the Agenda, owned by Don Eggers, James Morris, and James E. Morris with David Miller. 7, Color Me Best, owned by James Hoffler and Marjorie Hoffler with Eric Ledford. 8 is Oil Cam, owned by Lloyd Voiles and Todd Christie with David Merrill. 9, Cam Handsome Fella, owned by Richard Garrison. Mike Wilder will be in the sulky. Field for the third, 6 minutes till post time, welcoming Kingston Place. Field 4, race 3 is at the gate and moving through the clubhouse turn. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Life Work takes the lead. Fouled on the extreme outside by Set the Agenda. Toward the rail, Cool Ambition. They're down the backstretch. Cod Fayal with Gambler's Lair. Here's Color Me Best driving up on the far outside. He's the late leaver. And he'll be parked for a while, and here is a drive to the quarter-mile pole. After that comes CL Scooter, Oil Cam, and Cam Handsome Fella. As they race to the opening quarter-mile pole, plenty of action here. Life Work on the outside. Color Me Best follows along with him. They're by the opening quarter in a crisp 28 seconds flat. They're off that top turn and racing past the stands of the half-mile pole. Color Me Best, hard pressed on the outside, now gets the lead. Life Work in the second, Set the Agenda third. After that, Cool Ambition fourth, Codfiel fifth. Gambler's Lair rolls up on the outside. CL Scooter is underway. A gap of 3 lengths to Oil Cam and Cam Handsome Fella. They're at the half-mile pole in a soft 59-1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Color Me Best continues to lead the way. Life Work in the second, Set the Agenda third. Gambler's Lair moving up on the outside fourth. Cool Ambition is fifth, underway. CL Scooter toward the rail, Codfiel. As they make their way to 3/4, Cam Handsome Fella's up on the outside. Oil Cam is the trailer. Moving into 3/4, Color Me Best, and Gambler's Lair is getting serious now in 130-1. Moving around the far turn, Color Me Best on top, 3 parts of a length. Gambler's Lair continues to wear him down on the outside second. Life Work along the rail third. They're at the head of the stretch. Color Me Best on top. In between horses, Gambler's Lair. Passing lane, Life Work. Racing through the stretch. This is the night for Color Me Best. Color Me Best, Life Work second. Coming on late, Set the Agenda. Three, 7, Color Me Best. 2-year-old brown gelding by Cam Best out of Color Trend. Owned by James and Marjorie Hoffler of Sunbury and Hobbsville, North Carolina. Driven tonight by Eric Ledford for trainer Bruce Walls. Covering them out here in 157-4. Number 7, Color Me Best, the winner. The 7-6 Exacta, $55 even. The Super, $450 even. Windows are now up and on tonight's 4th race. Post time is 8:36. No changes in the 4th. 5th race, scratch 2, My Speed 6, scratch 7, BJ Hustle Judges. Those are the only changes in tonight's early pick 3. Post time 8:36. Here comes the field for race 4. Start of the early pick 3. 1 Night Falcon owned by Ewell Binkley. Dan Ader drives. 2 CC Big Guy Braxton owned by Sheila Collins and Jeff Fout. 3 is Robo Express owned by Robert Short and Ron Hughes. Arrangement is Eric Ledford. 4 Tucson Guy owned by Gary Adams. Dave Hawk will be aboard. And 5 is Sam Sir Knight. Leased by Jim Ulrich. Del S. Miller will be in the sulky. Field for the 4th. 5th race, scratch the 2, My. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Sam Sir Knight on the far outside. Tucson Guy between horses. CC Big Guy Braxton on the rail third, and they're dueling already to the first turn. Night Falcon and Robo Express speeding to the first 1/8 of a mile. Driving away on top, Sam Sir Knight on the outside to get the lead. Followed by Tucson Guy, second, CC Big Guy Braxton third. Night Falcon in 4th. Robo Express can't keep up right now. 8 from the front, but they're flying in 28. Speeding past the stands of the half-mile pole. From the outside, up the challenge for and taking over command, CC Big Guy Braxton. Fighting back in second, Sam Sir Knight and Tucson Guy. After that, Night Falcon, the trailer remains Robo Express. Around the clubhouse, turn of the half-mile pole. CC Big Guy Braxton bouncing along, continues to lead the way. CC Big Guy Braxton, a length and a half. Sam Sir Knight, the stalker. Here comes Tucson Guy up on the outside. Night Falcon will move with him. Saving ground, Robo Express. They're at the half in a lively 57-3 up the backstretch. Quintet is hub to hub. Here comes Tucson Guy on the outside, now taking a short lead. CC Big Guy Braxton is second. Night Falcon is up on the outside third. Nowhere to go, Sam Sir Knight in 4th. Robo Express moves from the back of the car wash. They're into 3/4, driving away on top by half a length in 127-4. Tucson guy. Here comes Night Falcon to get the lead. Night Falcon has the top. Robo Express circles up on the far outside. CC Big Guy Braxton along the rail. It's not a question of how, but by how many as they straighten away. Night Falcon's opened up 10. Robo Express is up on the outside by a dozen raw and a side of slaw. Night Falcon in front. Robo Express will get second. Here comes Night Falcon, 3-year-old brown colt by Nobleland Sam out of Falcon's Nest, owned in Ripley, Tennessee by the trainer Ewell Binkley. Driven tonight by Dan Ader to a comfortable victory here in 156 and a lifetime best. One Night Falcon, the winner. 1-4-2, 5 and 3. The mile was 156. Next post will be 854. Here comes the field for tonight's fifth race as they parade behind Kathy McDonald. 6 minutes till post time. 1 Speedy Wilma. Owned by Rita Studzinski, Jack Daly drives. 2 My Speed has been scratched. 6 3 Independence. Owned by Phyllis Dillon Arrangement is Brett Merkel. 4 Coming Success. Owned by Dennis and Larry Shaner. Jeff Fout will be aboard. 5 Sonny Kara. Owned by Donald Moyer and Greg Brumbaugh. Dave Miller in the bike. 6 Perfect Du Jour. Owned by Roy Mac Davis, and the driver is Dave Hawk. 7 BJ Hustle has been scratched. Judges. 8 Holly Day Exchange. Owned by Doug and Newt Gingrich with Keith Haynes. 9 Hills Night Games. Owned by Paul Zink and John Evans with Mike Wilder. 10 LB Lucky. Owned by Madeline Johnson, David Morgan. Jack Morgan will be in the sulky. 5 minutes till post time. Field 4, race 5 is at the gate and moving through the turn. Field is now in motion, and there they go. They're off and trotting. Far outside, Perfect Du Jour takes the lead. Coming Success splitting horses in second, followed by Independence in third. Along the rail, Speedy Wilma fourth. Holiday Exchange is on the move. Out of the second tier, LB Lucky, Sonny Kara, and the trailer is Hills Night Games. Seating arrangements are complete, and Perfect Du Jour is out on top. Coming Success gets the Perfect Du Jour trip in second. A little bit closer, Holiday Exchange left for the 3-hole and got it. 29 and 2. Field of 8 is on gate past the stands to the half-mile pole, and Perfect Du Jour continues to lead. Coming Success skims the pylons in second. Holiday Exchange a closer third, and Speedy Wilma fourth. Second division, fifth back, LB Lucky from the back. Hills Night Games along the rail, Independence. And at the end, it's Sonny Kara around the clubhouse turn to the half-mile pole. Still in command, the old man. He's been there every step of the way. Perfect Du Jour. Coming Success, the stalker, prompting from third. Holiday Exchange are at the half in a soft 1-1 and 1 up the backstretch. Bouncing right along, Perfect Du Jour continues to lead. Coming Success a closer second. Here's LB Lucky up on the outside. Nowhere to go, Holiday Exchange. Middle of the racetrack, Hills Night Games. Speedy Wilma, Sonny Kara to the far outside. Shuffle back, Independence. As they trot by 3/4, Perfect Du Jour trying to make every pole a winning one. Side wheels them by there in 131 and 3. Around the far turn, Perfect Du Jour on top. Cocked, locked, and ready to rock from the pocket. Rocket Journey, Coming Success. Holiday Exchange, Hills Night Games up on the outside. You can call me Al between horses. Dave Hawk draws the sword. Perfect Du Jour is under the whip. Right alongside in second, Coming Success. Perfect Du Jour, wire to wire. Here comes the unofficial winner, number 6, Perfect Du Jour. 13-year-old bay outing by Plot Du Jour out of Perfect Wood. Owned in Zanesville by the trainer Roy Mac Davis. Hard driven tonight, going wire to wire by Dave Hawk. Covering that mile in 2:01.1. Number 6, Perfect Du Jour. The unofficial winner, just about $200,000 in career earnings for this hard-hitting veteran campaigner, 6, Perfect Du Jour. The 6-4 exact, they're returning $19.40. The first half of the twin try, the $1 payoff, $43.30, $43.30. Windows are now open on the 6. No changes in race 6. Post time will be at 9:14. Here comes the field for tonight's 6th race as they parade to the post. Exact and trifecta. Wagering one is HP's Dipper, owned by Homer and Ralph Garrett, Roger Hagerman, and Jack Miley, driven by David Miller. 2, Delusion of Grandeur, owned by Gerald Jeff and Diana Cimini and Robert Salzberger with Terry Thomas. Number 3 is Eat at Sammy's, owned by Richard Slaughter and Dave Hawk. 4, Rembrandt's Ideal, owned by Jim Taliff and David Harris. Mike Wilder aboard. 5, My Boy Scooter, owned by Everett and Fayetta Patrick with Jack Daly. 6, Irish Falcon, owned by Larry Tinch and Randy Tharp. 7, Matt Tart's Lag, owned by Gary Bobo and the Star Country Stable with Art Jones. Here comes number 8, Little Blizzard, owned by Bill Metter with Darren Mauser. And the 9 is Kinda Stylish, leased by Larry Lynn Spearman. Del S. Miller is in the sulky. Field for the 6th, 5 minutes till post time. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Far outside, taking the lead, Matt Tart's Lag and Irish Falcon. Quickly on the rail, Eat at Sammy's, along with Rembrandt's Ideal. As they move midway on the turn, Rembrandt's Ideal forges to the front. Here's Irish Falcon driving up on the outside. Second, Eat at Sammy's moves in to be third. On the turn, HP's Dipper fourth as they make their way to the quarter-mile pole. Delusion of Grandeur with My Boy Scooter. Gap of 5, Matt Tart's Lag, Little Blizzard, and Kinda Stylish as they open up here in 27-3. With a rush on the outside, here comes Rembrandt's Ideal to regain the top. Rembrandt's Ideal on top by a widening 2. Followed by Irish Falcon in second. Around the clubhouse turn, Eat at Sammy's third. HP's Dipper got caught in there fourth. Driving up on the outside, Delusion of Grandeur to fifth. My Boy Scooter in sixth. Matt Tart's Lag is seventh. Here's Little Blizzard driving up on the outside and Kinda Stylish. They're at the half in a moderate 58. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Rembrandt's Ideal bouncing along 3 parts of a length. Delusion of Grandeur is the attacker in second. The early pace setter shuffled back in the third, Irish Falcon. Here's My Boy Scooter catching the train with live cover. Middle of the racetrack, Little Blizzard. Nowhere to go for Eat at Sammy's. HP's Dipper really got shuffled back. Keeping him at bay on the outside, Matt Tart's Lag and Kinda Stylish. Racing by 3/4 in 1:28. Around the far turn, they're side by side and stride for stride, and Rembrandt's Ideal continues to lead the way. Pocket Rocket Journey, Irish Falcon as Delusion of Grandeur blow the turn. Racing in between horses, Eat at Sammy's. Rembrandt's Ideal. Eat at Sammy's is closing 100 on the rail, but he's not good enough. Rembrandt's Ideal, Eat at Sammy's second, HP's Dipper third. Rembrandt's Ideal. 3-year-old bay colt by Ideal Society out of Kitchenette by Egyptian Dancer, bred in Illinois, but now owned in Dayton and Chicago by Jim Taliff and David Harris, trained by Rick Heitman. Driven tonight flawlessly by Mike Wilder, covering the mile in 156-3 in a lifetime best. For Rembrandt's Ideal and a double tonight for Mike Wilder. Third, Delusion of Grandeur fourth, Eat at Sammy's second. Rembrandt's Ideal. Here comes the field for tonight's 7th race as a parade to the post. Number 1 is Trace'em, leased by Herbert Spearman, driven by Mike Spearman. 2, Carousel Rhythm, owned by George and Robert Young with David Miller. 3, Racin' Jesse B, owned by Jim Plummer and Bill Long. 4, Gifted Debutante, owned by Jeff McCarty, David Lytle, and Henry Russell with Dan Ader aboard. Number 5, Red Romaine, owned by David Knoll and Dave Hawk. In the bike 6, CC Dragon Meadow, owned by Peggy Carter with Steve Carter. Number 7 is Elmhurst Scarlet, owned by Dan Wiseman. Jeff Fout will drive. 8 is Moving On Up, owned by Terry Kraft and Greg Luther. 9, Colleen's Candy Cam, owned by Robert A. and Sandra K. Johnson with Randy Tharps and 10 More Cheers, owned by Richard and Doug Ryan. Doug Ryan will be in the sulky. That is the field for tonight's 7th race. Post time in less than 4 minutes. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Red Romaine takes the lead. Colleen's Candy Cam, middle of the racetrack. And there goes CC Dragon Meadow with a rush. Trace them along the rail. A little bit rough between horses. Carousel Rhythm. Here's Racin' Jesse B from out of the second tier. More Cheers. Gifted Debutante to the turn. Elmhurst Scarlet and Moving On Up. Driving away on top from the outside. Here comes CC Dragon Meadow to get the lead. Racin' Jesse B hard pressed in second. Red Romaine third. Opening up here in a solid 28-2. Past the stands to the half. Racin' Jesse B on the outside up to challenge CC Dragon Meadow for the lead. Red Romaine is third by a length and a half. Colleen's Candy Cam in fourth. Trace'em is fifth. Underway. More Cheers from sixth. Here comes Carousel Rhythm back on the attack in the Roan Gifted Debutante. Elmhurst Scarlet is ninth on the outside. Moving on up. Better live up to her name, and she's 10th and last. They're at the half-mile pole. CC Dragon Meadow is regained. 58-1. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. CC Dragon Meadow's on top. Here's Colleen's Candy Cam right alongside in second, followed by Racin' Jesse B in third. More Cheers on the outside fourth. Carousel Rhythm catching the merry-go-round from fifth. Nearest the rail by a head. Red Romaine up on the outside. Comes Gifted Debutante. Elmhurst Scarlet on the far outside. Nowhere to go. Trace'em. Moving on up is 10th and last. Wide open here in 128-2. Around the far turn. CC Dragon Meadow on the far outside. Carousel Rhythm is on the move to second. Colleen's Candy Cam dropping back in the third. Off the turn in the stretch. They're on their way home. CC Dragon Meadow with a short lead. Here's Carousel Rhythm rocking up on the outside. CC Dragon Meadow, Gifted Debutante, Carousel Rhythm. CC Dragon Meadow holds on. Here comes the winner, Steve Carter. CC Dragon Meadow, 3-year-old bay filly by chairman of the board out of Dragon Flower. Owned in Londonderry, Ohio by Peggy Carter. Driven and trained virtually wire-to-wire by Steve Carter. Covering that mile here in 158-4. Number 6, CC Dragon Meadow, the winner of tonight's 7th race. Top down, Trace'em was 8th, Carousel Rhythm 3rd, Racing Jesse B, fourth. Gifted Debutante, second. Red Romaine, fifth. CC Dragon Meadow, the winner. Elmer Scarlet, seventh. Moving on up, 10th. Colleen's Candy Cam, ninth. More Cheers was sixth. 8-3-4, 2-5-1, 7-10-9. 6 on the bottom of the mile, 158 and 4. Here comes the field for tonight's 8th race. Start of the final pick 3. Number 1, Surf Alert, owned by Charles Taylor, driven by Randy Tharps. Number 2 is Rick and Dick, owned by Rhonda Stidham and Linda May with Rocky Stidham. 3 is Bonjour, owned by Bill Carruthers with David Miller. 4, Shape Up or Ship Out, owned by Constance Messler with Michael Riley aboard. 5, Destructor, owned by Ralph Lester with Dave Hawk. 6, Silent Carry, owned by Herbert Marshall, and a driver change to Bill Long Jr. Number 7 is Perfect, leased by Tim Carsey with Bob Harper. Number 8, License to Race, leased by James Gregg with Mike Wilder. 9, Sims Alabim Bada Bing Bada Boom, owned by Ernie Martin with Scott Logan. And number 10 is Night Talon, owned by Ron and Marjorie Anderson. Dan Ader will be in the sulky. Field for the 8th. This is the only change on the balance of the program. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Bonjour takes the leads. Perfect up on the outside. Rick and Dick along the rail. Here comes Shape Up or Ship Out. They're down the backstretch. Destructor, the late lever on the outside to 5th. Surf Alert away a bit slow from 6th. Night Talon is 7th as they make their way to the top turn. Silent Carry, License to Race, and Sims Alabim. Seating arrangements are complete. Driving away on top, it's Perfect for Bob Harper by about 3. Stepping off this initial quarter, 28 and 2. Field of 10, side wheels past the stands. It's Perfect on top by 2, 2.5, 3. Bonjour cuts his own mile in second. Rick and Dick can Shape Up or Ship Out. Gap of 3 to Destructor along the rail. Surf Alert up on the outside. Silent Carry. Night Talon is 8th as they make their way through the paddock turn. Sims Alabim is now 9th on the outside. License to Race is 10th. And they're at the half in 57 and 3. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. It's Perfect, trying to make every pole winning one, continues to show his heels to the field. Bonjour is second, a length and a half, and Rick and Dick Destructor uncovered from 4th. Down the backstretch, Shape Up or Ship Out. Surf Alert looks to hang 10. Night Talon along the rail comes Sims Alabim. Driving up on the outside, Silent Carry, License to Race, can't go on. Moving by 3/4 in 127. Around the far turn. Perfect opens up a commanding lead. Perfect on top by 5. Destructor is up on the outside of Bonjour, and along the rail, Rick and Dick. He's got the most pace of these 3, but Perfect is all alone. Perfect on top by about 8. The battle's for the deuce. Here comes Rick and Dick. Deep stretch. Perfect. Destructor up second, finishing third, the 2, Rick and Dick. Winner, 7's Perfect in a huge mile. 6-year-old brown gelding by Kentucky Spur out of Meadow Splendor. Leased in Columbus by Tim Carsey, trained by Robert Carsey, driven tonight coast to coast by Bob Harper. To cover the mile here in 155 and 2. Number 7's Perfect, the unofficial winner of tonight's 8th race. No changes in 9 and 10. Your attention, please. The inquiry sign is going to go up on the infield board involving number 2, Rick and Dick. for possibly going inside the pylons before the super stretch. Please hold all tickets. The judges want to review by videotape that portion of the race. Want to review if Rick and Dick went inside the pylons before the super stretch. Result of the 8th now official, 7-5 exact, $18 even. Trifecta 90. Here comes the field for tonight's 9th race. Field of 6 will face starter John Betts, exact and trifecta wagering. Number 1, Toss the Coin, owned by Thomas and Michael Colvin. Dave Hawk drives. Number 2, It's Showtime, owned by Chad Folk with David Miller. 3, Rich Pick, owned by Harry Hart, and the arrangement is Randy Tharps. 4, Tucson L, owned by the Our Little Stable. Alvin and Neil Long, Brad Hanner's aboard. 5, Adonijah, owned by Molly Farmer and Joanne Armbruster with Del S. Miller. And 6 is Smokey Butler, owned by Jeff and Ethel Dennis. Darren Mauser will be in the sulky. That's the field for the 9th. Post time in 6 minutes. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Way to a good start. 4 horses kick out for the lead. Tucson Al, Adonijah, widest of all. Toss the Coin. Back a bit comes Rich Pick. Far outside, Smokey Butler. At Showtime will come from the back. Circling to the quarter-mile pole. Adonijah now gets the lead. Tucson Al stalking second, racing third. Toss the Coin, followed by Rich Pick and Smokey Butler. The trailers at Showtime. Racing by the opening quarter, a smart 27-3. Past the stands, they roll to the half-mile pole, and Adonijah, hoping to show some profit tonight, leads by 2.5. Adonijah shows the way, racing second. Tucson Al. Toss the Coin, whether it be heads or tails, is next. Moving up on the outside, Smokey Butler, as they make their way through the paddock turn. Moving away on top by 2.5 lengths, it's Adonijah. Tucson Al second, Smokey the Butler drives up on the outside. At Showtime from the back of the train. Toss the Coin and Rich Pick. They're off the half in 57-2. Flying down the backstretch, Smokey Butler on the outside will try to clear Adonijah. Nowhere to go for Tucson Al, driving up on the outside. At Showtime. 2 more lengths, Toss the Coin and Rich Pick with some work to do. First for our hub-to-hub as they rock and roll by 3/4. Adonijah fighting back, game on the outside. Smokey Butler 126. Moving around the far turn by a half a length and starting to inch clear just the shade. Adonijah right alongside in second. Smokey Butler cocked, locked, and ready to rock and waiting for the passing lane. You can call me Al on the far outside. At Showtime. Tucson Al busts loose. Tucson Al now gets the lead. Adonijah second. It's Showtime will finish third. Here comes number 4. You can call me Tucson Al, a 4-year-old based on of Tucson Hanover out of Allegheny, Annie. Home of the Our Little Stable, Alvin and Neil Long, trained by Alvin Long, giving a pylon journey tonight by Brad Hanners to cover that mile here in 1:55.4. 4, Tucson Al, the winner of the 9th. 4-5 exacta, $16.20, and the try on 4, 5, and 2, $62.40. Windows are now open on tonight's 10th and final race. Post time 14 minutes away, 10:36. No changes in the superfecta. The field for tonight's 10th and final race, Superfecta and Exacta wagering, and the 1 is James Owen Tudor. Leased by Robert Zink, driven by David Miller. 2, Kyler Bell, leased by Tony Hall and Darren Mauser. 3, Double Time Legend, owned by Al Jan Enterprises with Brad Hanners. Number 4 is C.J. Baker, owned by Shirley Robinson. Dave Hawk will be aboard. 5, Barron's Carrier, owned by Sarah Rader, and the driver is Scott Mogan. 6, Dirty Dirk, owned by driver Charlie Conrad and Harold Farvell. 7 is Rob Report, leased by Robert Pryor and Randy Tharps. Here's the 8 kgs Gravitate, owned, trained, and trained by Tom Lovely. Number 9 is Terrasol, owned by Constance Messler. Mike Wilder will be in the sulky. Field for the 10th, no changes. Superfecta wagering 5 minutes till post. Field 4, race 10 at the gate and moving up. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Rob Report on the far outside. Dirty Durkin, Barron's Carrier, they're down the backstretch. James Owen Tudor moves in to be 4th and Kyler Bell 5th. KG's Gravitate caught 3 deep to the outside. Double Time Legend. CJ Baker and Terrasol is the trailer. As they move to the quarter-mile pole, Rob Report overcomes his outside post and quickly grabs the racetrack. Barron's Carrier is in there second. They open up. 28 seconds flat. Superfecta Pacers drive on by the stands. Rob Report for Speedy. Randy Tharps is there by 2. Barron's Carrier cuts his own mile in second. Long shot, Dirty Dirk in third. Kyler Bell to the outside and James Owen Tudor along the rail. Here's Double Time Legend up on the outside. C.J. Baker back of the pack. KG's Gravitate, Terrasol coming quick on the pylons. Around the clubhouse, turn to the half-mile pole. Rob Report at the half in 59 up the backstretch. Rob Report trying to make every pole winning one, leads the way, stinging them pretty good. Rob Report under confident handling. Barron's Carrier in second. Kyler Bell first on the outside, third. Dirty Durkin, Double Time Legend trying to pick it up. James Owen Tudor got caught along the pylons. C.J. Baker wide and driving 7th. Terrasol is 8th. KG's Gravitate 9th on the outside. Rob Report trying to make every pole winning one, stays there in 128 and 2. Moving around the far turn. Rob Report, Barron's Carrier, C.J. Baker up on the outside. Dirty Durkin, Kyler Bell. Double Time Legend, middle of the racetrack. Along the rail, James Owen Tudor. Randy Tharps brings him home. Up top, it's Rob Report off the rail. Barron's Carrier is closing in. Barron's Carrier. Rob Report, it's Barron's Carrier. Tight for second. The 4 got there. C.J. Baker, third. The 7, Rob Report, and 1, James Owen Tudor. Here comes Barron's Carrier, 10-year-old brown gelding by Le Baton Rouge out of Berwick, owned in Plain City by Sarah Rader, trained by Lana Jo Sturgill Pollock. Given a well-judged drive tonight by Scott Mogan, covering that mile here in 157 and 4. Number 5, Barron's Carrier, the winner of tonight's 10th and final. Final pick 3, 218.80. The final pick 3, 218.80. The exact $121 even. The super, $2,067 even. Bell 5th, Double Time Legend.